What's up? My name's DM Wisdom, and welcome to Agranak Studios. This last weekend in America was the holiday Memorial Day. Well, it's actually Monday, but it's the whole weekend where people just basically drink and barbecue and, well, remember veterans. One of the many things that happens here in America, and especially where I live, is that there's a lot of people that have garage sales or yard sales or rummage sales. They bring out all their old crap and people go door to door and buy it. One man's junk is another man's treasure and all that. I'm not really into the pastime, but I have done my fair share of yard sailing. Somebody that works in my department was asking me if I was looking for anything in particular because they were going to go yard sailing. And of course I said, yeah, any vintage D&D stuff would be awesome. She turns to me and says, my husband's got a bunch of old stuff. I'll see if he wants to part with any. I held out no hope for any sort of substantially good anything D&D wise. The best policy? No expectations. Ever since I got involved with Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s, I had always gone to thrift stores and garage sales and old secondhand bookstores in hopes of finding D&D stuff. The only two finds that I've come across is, one is the Complete Priest Handbook, 2nd edition, really good condition actually, and an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual 2. But the binding's all messed up, and man, this thing is thrashed. So that's many years of going to thrift stores and bookshops, secondhand bookshops and all that has yielded that much. But always in my heart of hearts, I always think about going into these places and there being like a recent drop off of a ton of stuff and they don't know what they have, so they sell it to me cheap. Have you seen prices on eBay lately for any of these vintage D&D things? It's crazy. So this person comes in with their husband and they're carrying, well, let me get it, this box of Egos. Yeah, full of books. Can you see some of those in there? They come in saying, we've got a gift for you. I'm thinking all the books are going to be crap and he's going to want a lot of money for them, as people tend to do this day and age. He comes over, hands me the box, and says, here you go. I say, okay, how much we looking at? He says, it's free. These were all my duplicates, so yeah, I figured they could use a good home. At this point, all of those memories of me going to these yard sales, thrift stores, and all of that, and being disappointed for years and years and years, and this weird sort of obsession with finding these things at these places came to a head. I was speechless as I looked into the box. I didn't start going through it or anything. We talked about D&D for a while, and then he had to go clock in for the day, and I bid him farewell. Just by looking at the top of the box, I'm like, okay, these books are probably screwed, but we're going to thumb through them today. Hopefully we can have a good time just perusing these books and looking at this amazing haul.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an upload. And join the conversation over at the Agranak Cult Discord.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. This is the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monstrous Manual, and they made this for 2nd edition as well, but this is for 1st edition. It's in great condition. There's a little bit of water damage right there, probably from a spilt liquid on top of it, but the pages do get better after a bit, little by little. For the most part, everything is good. No real markings in it or anything like that. I actually really love this book. I have my own 2nd edition version. But yeah, it's good to have this 1st edition. I'm sure, because 1st and 2nd edition are highly, highly compatible, it'll probably remain as the most compatible versions or editions, even as we go into this new 6th edition or whatever it is between 5th and 6th. I think 1st and 2nd are just really one and the same. There's only a few differences. Good book here. All right. Advertisements on the back. So, Monsters Manual. You can tell it's first edition because of the red logo instead of the regular blue and white, which I'll show you on this next book, which is The Tome of Magic. So here's how you know it's second edition, is the blue and white logo with the second edition in red. So one of my favorite things about this edition is the Wild Magic Surge tables, which I love using Wild Magic in my games because of this book. In really good condition, amazing art throughout. And that's something that always stood out to me with second edition. The art, these like splash pages and whatnot, are always welcome. Let's find another one here. There's one as well. Good stuff. Very evocative and just amazing art. All right. The binding is a little messed up. And again, a couple pages, the intro and whatnot, credits are gone. So, but relatively decent condition. I have this book, so I may do something with this. I'm not sure. Maybe even take it apart and use the splash art as art on my walls. Here's what I was really excited about. I had sold my 6th printing, and that's what this is, 6th printing of the Player's Handbook years ago, to get money for more role-playing game books. But I always wanted to have this. I really want to just frame this, put it on the wall, as well as some of these other books. I love having them. I've got them for reference as PDFs, but I love having my hands on it. A little bit of mark right there, but yeah, it is in excellent condition throughout. The binding is still intact, and a lot of these first edition books, the bindings just kind of fell apart. And this is technically what I started playing with, was first edition, because that's what everybody was playing at the time. Second edition had just come out, and they had gotten the books, but we were still playing first edition, and then quickly switched over to second, which really wasn't any different. At least how we were playing it. I'm sure there's plenty of you that can tell me all the minute details of the differences between first and second edition, but I consume them both equally, and they cross over quite well. And when I play D&D, if I'm playing official D&D, I'm playing first and second edition typically. Great, great book. No missing pages. This is a real steal, especially for free. So, great cover. Binding's still good. I don't want to open it too much. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up framing this as well as some of these other books. The next book is the Dungeon Master Guide, first edition. Great cover. Not a ton of shelfware for as old as this is. So friggin' cool. And no, that paint's not wet. That's been there for a while. I still got to sand that off. And here's some notes that they left in. A Wraith Knight. May have been sold for $10 or someone was writing down their stats. Again, in great condition. No binding damage, which, again, these are famous for. And some people call this one of the best Dungeon Master guides ever. It has so much material in here. Good stuff. Just going to go quickly here. If there's any books that you would like to see reviewed, and I love the idea of doing retro reviews, let me know in the comments. what you would like me to kind of go over, and maybe even what part. And I've got a pretty complete second edition collection as well. And this is definitely going to get framed as well. I'm still tripping out that I have this stuff. I've been looking at buying the Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Guide, and all that, and the crappy ones start at $75, and some of the first print runs are going for $1,500 or more. It's nuts. Next, we have a monster manual. Great condition, has a little bit of wear right there, a little cracking, but the cover is in great condition. Everyone that I've known that has had this, they've been wasted, kind of just messed up. Because, I mean, this is the thing that you're going to reference the most as a dungeon master. Awesome monsters in here. Great stuff. All the tried and true dragons and devils and all the wonderful, wonderful things, which is why we play Dungeons and Dragons. Great evocative art. And what's awesome is that it's got that old school feel because it's old school. So awesome. Good stuff. Another one for a frame. I showed you my crappy monster manual too, but this one's in way better condition. Cover looks good. Got a little bit of wear in here. Back is good. Normal shelf wear, I would pretty much say. More monsters than you can shake a stick at. Pages are in great condition. And I'm a stickler for taking care of my books. And so it's really nice to receive something that's not trashed, especially these first edition books. So cool. Index. A little bit of coming apart here. Again, these are usually completely falling apart, especially as old as they are. Another one for a frame. Fiend Folio. Great condition. It's got some tape on here that I'm going to have to take off. Some shelfware. But for the most part, in wonderful condition. I can't complain at all because they were free. All of these. Completely free. Love that picture. Great stuff. More monsters for you to kill. All the fiends and wonderful things to fight, kill, destroy. I think this is the first time that the Gith and the Githyanki appear in any official material. The stats and monsters galore. Beautiful. It's the amount of wonderful adventures that were probably played out of this book and the others is really, really cool to think about and to contemplate. So cool. All right. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I just received an Unearthed Arcana for Yule this year in January. And this one is not in the best condition. Looked like a dog or a rat got to it up here. So this may be one that I part out. I don't know. Or maybe just sell. This one belonged to Michael Murphy. Good stuff. But the interior is still good. But somebody's dog definitely got to that edge, that corner. Filled with all sort of wonderful stuff. And even on page 3, this is where they talk about comeliness. And here's someone doing some tallies for experience points. It looks like maybe some hit points over here. This is probably my favorite of any cover from D&D ever. Just so awesome. Very evocative. All right, two more things here, which are very much welcome. Here's what I always call the pink box, even though it's magenta, the edges. And this is what my friend had when I first started playing. This was the box that he he had as a collector's item. And it also came with, this is the Holmes edition of the game. So there's not a box for that, but this is the Holmes rulebook. Very cool. In decent condition. Definitely well used. Here is the rulebook. In great condition. There's some tape right there. But in really good condition. So cool. And this box set came with Keep on the Borderlands. Classic. More people have played this, and this is the module that has sold more than any other. And if you're watching this channel and if you've gotten this far, you've probably played or at least referenced this. So good. And this is the original, not a reprint. It has the map that is the cover as well. Here is a catalog. 1981 TSR Hobbies Inc. Gateway to Adventure. And this is what they packaged inside. Trying to get you to buy their other stuff. And a little business reply mailer thing. Name of this TSR game. So you can register it. And they were getting some marketing stuff. What types of TV shows do you most enjoy? Situation comedy, science fiction, so on and so forth. Here's the back cover. Now this box is a little messed up, and if you saw my restoration of Ravenloft Red Box from 2nd edition, I'm going to be doing the same sort of treatment on this just to get it back up to snuff and so that it'll sit on the shelf a little bit better. There's some bowing here, some concaving. And then last but not least is the Expert box set. This box is in better condition, save for there's a tear right here, but that's probably the least problem of this box set in regards to getting it fixed up. So I'll be able to glue that and it should be good. And here is the Expert rules. The book is in great condition. Really awesome. Probably was barely even used, as it seems. And the module that comes with this box set, which is Dungeon Module X1, which is the Isle of Dread. Another really famous adventure, obviously because of this box set. And all the maps, and again it opens up. And here's a little treat. The Book of Ruins from Judges Guild. Now, it's an official game aid for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not from TSR. So I haven't ever seen this or gone through it, so I'm going to have fun doing that. So cool. So friggin' cool. Great art. Love that. All right, and then the business reply. Now, there's no, the original dice are long gone from these. Those are the dice that you would color in with a crayon that would come with it. Maybe one day I'll be able to acquire some of those, but man, I've seen just the dice going for like $170 for an originally packaged dice and crayon set for expert as well as basic. So, yeah, awesome. Hey, thanks for stopping by Agranak Studios today. And make sure you go to our website, agranak.com, and sign up for our newsletter. Later.
This video was brought to you by the generous support of our patrons. Consider becoming a patron so you can help us make more content like this. Or get yourself a t-shirt below. Later. Alright, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.